Hello. Wait, my live. Um. Okay, looks like I'm live. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Ask Jason Anything About Meta Ads on Sunday night at 10 p.m. If this is the first time you see me, welcome to my universe. My name is Jason. I'm from Malaysia. I'm a Meta Ads optimization strategist. And what I do here is I go live every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time to answer questions about meta advertising. When it comes to meta advertising, a lot of people would think that's actually not so complicated. But the moment you start advertising, you realize, like setting up an ad is actually the easiest part. There's so many things you need to learn. And there's so many things you can do to bring your campaign to the next level. Recently I just completed a project, not to say completed because, my client comes to me for meta ads optimization advices, and usually it's actually on a specific project basis whereby, like, for example, recently this client came to me because they were trying to scale their campaign. So when it comes to scaling, theoretically, if you actually understand the term scale, it actually means you want to kind of like spend more money to make more money. But when it comes to meta advertising, it's not as straightforward. So this client of mine is actually in personal training. So they are a personal trainer. So what they do is they run Facebook ads to generate leads, and then for their personal training program, which they actually do like qualifying with Zoom call, and then after that invite them to join the program with a fee and something like that. So very straightforward. But like for any businesses, in fact, this is a lead gen cases. But if you're doing an e-commerce business, right, scaling means, let's say if you're spending like $1,000 and you're making about like $3,000 in revenue, that's about like 3x lowest. Theoretically, you want to spend, let's say if you want to double it to $2,000 to make $6,000. Usually, it's not as straightforward as it seems. So, what most people do when it comes to scaling is they're always trying to, like spend more money. But in my opinion, before you scale, you got to make sure that your campaign is being optimized. Meaning, like, first thing first, when you have a campaign, this is something that I really want to share with you. When you have a campaign that is working, my question to you is, do you know why? As in, like, why is it working? What have you done right? That it makes you money in return. So you need to find out why. Is it because of the creative? Is it because of the audience targeting? Is it because of the offer? Is it because of the like the checkout process, or the like whatever it may be? Because by understanding why it is working, you are able to like confidently put in more money to make more money, because usually you will know that what are the metrics that you should be monitoring. But for their case, this client of mine, what they do is like they try to spend more. But what happened is their campaign is not optimized. So when I actually come in and help them on this campaign, so what we did is we actually kind of dive in and find out what's working, what's not working, and we realized the campaign is not optimized. Why? Because they have too many top of funnel campaigns that are overlapping among each other, as in like they're competing among each other. So that makes the CPM slightly higher than it should be, and the frequency was coming up high, which kind of like stopping the ads to effectively reach more people, which is something that is quite a waste of money. Because if you keep showing your ad to the same people who have even taken action on your ad, it doesn't convince them to take further action. It only annoys them, or it actually wastes money on them, because theoretically the top of funnel campaign should help you reach more people. So what we did was we apply exclusion application in the campaign, top of funnel campaign. And then after we discussed about the campaign itself, right, we realized that most of their clients who sign up for the program are not those people who are recently kind of like introduced to the ad. So in a way, their top of funnel ad has to run, but the top of funnel ad don't really convert. You see where I'm coming from? So what happened is most of their conversions came from those who have seen their ad, click on it before, and then they follow the Facebook and Instagram. And after maybe 2 to 3 months, when they are more ready, they come back and sign up for the program. So what we did was, instead of spending all the money at the top of funnel, we restructured the whole campaign, and we sort of like position, and we built a retargeting journey that like effectively create a journey that educates the audience, that talks to the audience in a deeper kind of like manner. The whole entire retargeting journey was designed for a 6 months journey, meaning when we come in at the top of funnel, you click on the ad and you take certain actions. In the next 6 months, you will alternately, you will see the ad 1 month and stop it for another month. We have a journey that kind of like alternating among each other. So it's not like all these 6 months you'll keep seeing the ad, but you will have a period where you will see it for a while and you stop, sit for another while and stop. So with that, right, after we applied for about a month, I think it's about 3 weeks down the road, we actually increase the return on investment, as in like they get 20% more leads with the same amount that they are spending right now. So if that's something that you're actually looking for, you have to realize, or you have to understand that in fact you don't really need to spend more money to get more leads, but by fixing the campaign or the framework itself can help you achieve similar objective. I mean, I actually did this to e-commerce business, lead gen business, and all that, which is totally possible. But you need to really find out why your campaign is working, and you need to redesign the journey or the so-called the campaign structure to really take your campaign to the next level. So that's what I do actually, as in like when it comes to the meta ads optimization. So just in case any one of you are interested to kind of like find out how we can work together to take your campaign to the next level, I would like to invite you to scan this QR code. This is actually an application to my one-on-one coaching program, because if you want to work on the optimization, it's considered a one-on-one coaching program whereby it's just you and me, and we dive into your business. We try to find out what's working in your campaign, and then we build a strategy to take your campaign to the next level. I mean, by scaling, I mean, if it's optimized, by all means. But if it's not optimized, we are possibly even making you more money or results and generating you more leads and sales with even the same amount that you're spending right now. So it's totally possible. But first, we need to find out what is happening in your campaign, and we take it from there. So if that's something that you want to do, you have been running ads for a while, you realize that you have hit a roadblock here that you do not know how to proceed and take it further, and you need some, like specialty help in terms of optimization, scan this QR code, go through the application, and let's have a quick chat and see if we are a good fit to work together. Okay, so yeah, that's a quick introduction about what I do, because I get questions from people about, Jason, what do you do actually? But that's what I really do when it comes to optimization. Okay, now let's get back to this, right? So the Ask Jason Anything About Facebook Ads happens every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. So I answer questions about meta advertising and digital marketing. So all you need to do, if you have any questions regarding meta advertising, just go to my YouTube channel and try to search for an answer. I posted over 1,000 videos about meta advertising. You probably can find something that is, like similar to what you're looking for or what you're facing. Otherwise, if you cannot find anything, all you need to do is just post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take your question, I'm going to screenshot, and I'm actually going to answer your questions live over here on the following Sunday. So you just come back on the following Sunday to listen to my reply. And there you go, right? But just in case you want to have some quick one and say that, Jason, I do not want to go live. I mean, some questions are P&C, and I want a quicker kind of like solution. Can I ask questions to you one-on-one? Yes, you can. All you need to do is scan this QR code. It will take you to my Fiverr gig. All you need to do is to buy me a dinner. Then we can actually have a 30-minute Zoom call. You can bring out your screen. You can share your screen. We can look at the campaign. We can answer your questions, anything you want to do. For 30 minutes or so, depending on what kind of package that you're buying. So that's what you can do if you want to do that. But just in case you're new to meta advertising, want to learn from a proper guided, like Facebook ads training, this is something that you can consider, because this is my, like a Facebook ads masterclass is a 2.5-hour recorded training. So we discuss about the structure, the strategy, and the objective selection, the audience targeting, the creative, and analytics. So 2.5 hours training. Once you scan this QR code and sign up, you get the link right away, and you always get the latest version of the training. Why? Because I would actually do a refresh every 6 months or so. I mean, as and when they have some big updates that has to be included in the training, then I would do a refresh. So you always get the latest version of it. Okay, just use the link that you receive after purchasing this program. Then you always have the latest version. Okay, just in case you want to I don't want to learn, Jason. I want to get my campaign up and running at the optimum level. I want you to design my strategy. I want you to set it up for me. Can you do that for me? Yes. This is where I would actually design a strategy and set it up for you in a simple engagement. So all you need to do is actually scan this QR code. You need to apply. Because I only take like a handful of clients every month, because this is really for those who just get me this. And most of my clients actually use this as their internal training as well, because when I set up the whole thing for you and design and everything will be recorded. So you can actually use this for your internal training to teach your team, to even bring your team to the call as well. I don't really mind. So if that's something that you want to do, scan this QR code and we would actually take it from there. Okay, now we don't have a lot of questions today, so we will actually go through a few, and if you have any questions, you can pop your question in the comment, which I'm not looking at it right now, else I will get distracted. Once I go through all these, I'll come back to the question on the chat and to see whether we have something interesting to discuss over here. So now, first question is coming from Donkey Lovers. So this is a question about, is it possible to get sales running link click ad? Now, when it comes to meta advertising, objective selection is a very important aspect. You see, like we used to have about like 15 objectives or 16 at one point, but now we have 6. And it's being categorized in a way that help you really understand what are the things that you are about to get when you're running ads with the objective. Now, link click is actually traffic campaign. Now, traffic campaign are meant for you to actually get traffic to destination on or off Facebook or Meta. Okay, so it includes Facebook website, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, and stuff like that. So yeah, in or out Meta environment. So basically, when you go for traffic, okay, you are telling Facebook that you want to get people who are likely to click, but not necessarily people who are likely to purchase. So I actually break it down to you because it actually makes a difference. But I'm not saying that link click is not going to work, because I have got my clients who are running ads to their Shopee. You know, if you're not familiar in the Southeast Asia part, Shopee is one of the largest e-commerce marketplace in the Southeast Asia. And because they do not have CPaaS, which is like a collaborative ad, where they link their catalog with their ads manager and stuff, they can only drive traffic to their store. But with their traffic campaign, they would actually getting very good sales from there. So not necessarily you need to use sales objective to get sales, but I would recommend that you put it to test. You see, when it comes to meta advertising, there are a lot of things that could be out of our expectation. Like recently, I had a campaign. I actually kind of like coached a client where when they set up they were driving WhatsApp leads. When they were doing it with traffic objective, the CPM was lower, but the conversion rate was there, but it's not as good. So theoretically, because we're learning from another client, which they use engagement objective to go for WhatsApp conversation, it used to be a lot cheaper. But when it comes to this client's case, it's totally not the case. So we had to switch back to the original traffic, and we were getting leads from there. So a lot of times you really have to test and be courageous to actually experiment whatever you have in your mind to really progress better in your meta advertising. That's why a lot of clients work with me on a monthly or bi-weekly basis, where they want to discuss about the possibilities about what else can I do, like what are the other things that I can explore in terms of creative, in terms of the structure and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how I work with most of my clients on a subscription basis. But back to your question, is it possible to get sales running link click ad, which is a traffic ad? My answer is yes. But okay, I would still encourage that you experiment with different objectives like sales and stuff to see which one actually gets you better results. So yeah, you run it. So my recommendation is actually very simple. The best way to learn is to start running ads, and we learn from the numbers. The numbers will never lie. Whether it's working, it's not working, which part is working, which part is not working. You run ads for a week, then you always have, you will have enough sufficient number to look at the performance and plan your next step. So run ads, and when you're ready, right, you can come back for this gig of mine, which is, this is a one-on-one Facebook ads analysis where I will dive into your Facebook ads campaign with at least 1 week data. We will be able to find out what's working and what's not working on your campaign. And I will build a plan about what are the things that you can possibly do to improve your campaign performance. So this is a quick gig, 30 minutes audit. Scan this QR code. Same thing, buy me a dinner. Then we can have a discussion over your campaign data. So I will build you a dashboard. I would teach you how to analyze, and I would make you a plan. So that's simple as that. Okay, so if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you real soon. Right now, next question I get is actually from my community. This is one of the questions that I get a lot, which is how to reduce Facebook ads cost per click, which is CPC. Now, I want to help you understand that CPC is not the cost you pay for Facebook ads. Okay, cost per click is actually an average cost. So basically, when you're running ads on Facebook, the default charging block is actually CPM, meaning every time Facebook show your ad, you pay at the 1,000 kind of block. Every 1,000 impression, you pay a price, and the price fluctuates from time to time. So to answer your question about this thing, how to reduce Facebook ads CPC, first, the easiest way to approach this thing here is to try to bring your CPM down. You get what I mean? Try to bring your CPM down. So let's say if your CPM is, let's say $10 right now, if you're able to bring your CPM down to $5, meaning you are actually reaching double the people with the same amount that you're spending. So that's one way that you can actually bring your CPM down. But having said that, I have to warn you. I mean, if you try to bring your CPM down and pay too much attention on that, like it may not get you the right audience who are likely to buy. So when you try to bring the CPM down, essentially things that you can do is like try different objective, broader audience and stuff like that. But lower CPM doesn't mean higher quality. So you have to strike a balance over there. But having said that, just to answer you your question quickly, what are the ways to reduce CPC? The first way is to reduce CPM. So that's the first one. Now, the second way is to actually improve your CTR. Now, when it comes to running ads, right, CTR plays a very significant role because it indicates the percentage of likelihood of people interacting with your ad and taking action, like clicking and go to your next destination and stuff like that. So by improving CTR, meaning like, let's say now your CTR is 0.5%. But if you're able to test different creative and bump your CTR to 0.8, for example, that's actually a 30%, it's about like 60% improvement from your existing. You get what I mean? All right. So if you are able to get 60% more clicks, are you possibly getting 60% more actions down the road, like leads, sales, and stuff like that? You might. So here's how we can actually reduce the CPC, because when we are able to get more people to click, that means with the same amount of people we are spending on ads, the same amount of people that we're reaching, we get more people to click. That reduces the CPC. So these are the ways to reduce CPC. But having said that, what I want to highlight here is we do not want to become an analysis paralyzed person. See, what do I mean by that? So there are two ways to being like analysis paralysis, which is one way is you try to analyze too many things. You kind of get lost, you lost track you lost focus. You kind of like, which one is the one that matters and all that. So that's one. Now, the other one is you focus on one specific metric too much. You lost focus on the entire picture, which is also a very dangerous thing. That's why you need to know what are the metrics that matters to your business. And you need to understand the connections between the metrics and how do you make decisions based on the metrics. So that's the reason why you analyze. Not because you like the CPM or you like the CPC, you just like it to be lower and stuff like that. It doesn't work that way. So you really need to know why you analyze, because we want to optimize it. That's a simple way to do it. So what I want to recommend here is, instead of focusing on the CPC or CPM and all that, why not just try to understand the entire big picture, as in like, is your CPM really affecting your CTR, really affecting your cost per click, or really affecting the result and all that? Instead of looking at the single metric itself, try to find out what's working or not working in your campaign and build a plan to bring your campaign to the next level. That's what I would actually advocate you to do. So if that's something that you want to do, scan this QR code. Let's have a 30-minute discussion. So what I'll do here is I will analyze your campaign for you. So first thing first, we'll build you a dashboard. So I'll teach you how to analyze and make connection between the metrics and all that. So with that, that builds you your foundation, because that's yours. I'll build a dashboard that is truly yours, belongs to your business, that you can always come back and look at it and understand it and all that, and get better and better over time. So that's the first part. So from there, we are able to find out what's working, what's not working, and I'll build you a plan, as in like for the next 3 months or 3 weeks or so, like what are the 1, 2, 3 things that you can try to hopefully bring your, result to the next level, or to optimize. These are the possibilities that you can actually look into. But of course, meta advertising is a very fluid thing. You build hypothesis, you test variables, and it's either proven working or not working, and you move on to the next hypothesis and prove. So that's what we do. That's why optimization is a journey. It's never end. It's like a never ending journey. But as long as you keep doing it, you keep getting better and better at it. You'll definitely get good at that. So that's something that I would recommend you to get started. Scan this QR code, buy me a dinner, and we can have a quick discussion over this. So that's how do you actually optimize your CPC? Okay, now next question. This is a very, very good question that I really want to address. You see, a lot of people came to me asking how to scale Facebook ads. Now, I really want to help you understand about, the Facebook ad scaling. To a lot of people, Facebook ad scaling means, the ad is working. If I'm spending $1,000 and get $3,000 in revenue, I want to spend $2,000 to make $6,000, and when it's stabilized, I want to spend $3,000 to make $9,000 or even $10,000. That's what I want. But in fact, when it comes to meta advertising, it is not as straightforward as you want it to be. So when it comes to scaling Facebook ads, It is not as straightforward. Why? Because let's say if you are spending $1,000 to make 3,000, the moment you scale it, like let's say double down or even at 50%, make it 1,500, you are very unlikely to get similar ratio or quantum of improvement in your revenue because it's not as straightforward. So what I would recommend here is if you have a campaign that is already working and generating results and money and leads and everything, first thing first, I would really recommend you to do here is you try to understand what's working in your campaign. Otherwise, you are scaling blindly because you do not know what are the metrics that matters to you right now, which one to watch, which one is working, which one is not working, and all that. What I want to highlight here is, in fact, you can actually, scale your campaign by getting more results even with the same amount that you are spending right now. Like recently, I had a case, like I just mentioned just now. So like my client came to me and said that I try to scale, but I can't. But the moment we look at the campaign is not optimized. You are having overlapping at the top of funnel, meaning your top of funnel campaigns are fighting among each other. And after that, we understand that most of their signups or conversions came from those people who have been in their funnel for at least 2 to 3 months and above. So you see, in that case, spending more money on the top of funnel, it's not going to help you get more leads. But instead, you need to restructure the campaign. Yes, you still need to spend on the top of funnel, but you actually build a journey that warms your audience up, in 2 to 3 months down the road. Let's say they convert at the third month. Are you able to convert them at the second month? And when they convert at the third month, the whole retargeting, can you redesign the journey and make them more effectively? As in connect with them more effectively, communicate your key messages with them more effectively, and drive conversion in a more effective manner. Is it possible? Yes, that's how we did it, right? 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the road, we achieved 20% more leads with the same amount that we are spending right now exactly. So that doesn't need more advertising budget. But since now we already have a structure that is working, we can confidently scale more. Like now it's optimized. Now I can safely say that like by spending 20 to 30% every week and all that, we're able to achieve maybe double in revenue or sales or leads in like a month or two. So this is how you should approach Facebook ad scaling. Instead of just blindly throwing money as it's working right now, let's throw in more money. It doesn't work that way. So what I'm really advocating here is I think every advertisers must really understand Meta Ads optimization. And that's something that would actually empower you to have the eye and the logical thinking to really take your campaign to the next level by understanding what's working, what's not working. So yeah, instead of scaling blindly, what I'm actually advocating here is you should start looking into optimization. So to start, actually, if you're running ads and you're looking to scale your ads, to start everything, I would recommend that let's try to find out what's working in your campaign. So yeah, so this is the gig that you can actually scan. Scan this QR code, this will take you to my Fiverr gig. So what we do here is for 30 minutes or so, we would actually dive into your campaign. So I would build a dashboard for you and I will teach you how to read the data, how to connect between data, the metrics and all, and how to make sense of them. So with the dashboard, you can actually, it's yours. It's truly like uniquely belong to your business. By week in, week out, you'll be able to just look back at it and start practicing your eye on these things. So that's one thing. Now, as we are analyzing the campaign and to find out what's working and what's not, I would then build you a plan. As in like, for the next 1, 2, 3 hypotheses that you can actually test. And these are the experiments that you can actually apply, hopefully to take your campaign to the next level. So that's how we do it. When it comes to Meta Ads optimization, it's all about building hypotheses and prove them right or wrong, one hypothesis at a time. So let's take one step at a time, and eventually you'll be able to achieve better results, make more money with your Facebook ads campaign confidently. That's what I want to advocate. So if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you soon. Okay, so that's all the questions that I get. Now let's come back to whatever I have at the chat level. Cool. So I have a question coming in from Shiviram. Okay, now you're saying that, have you seen a new Advantage Plus audience setting? It looks like Meta made separate sections for engaged audience and purchases. Yes, it has been around for a while. In fact, that's something that I find it quite annoying. So how can you actually kind of go back to the one, scroll to the bottom, there's a way that you can actually set back to use the original audience settings. So that's something that you can do. But having said that, moving forward, we all know that Meta is always trying to do, like moving to the Advantage Plus things and stuff like that, because their advocation is they want to make Meta advertising easier for everyone. But having said that, it's the simplified version actually takes away a lot of controls that we want. So that's where you do it, right? So yeah, anyway, but that's how you go back. Always go back to the see original settings, and you'll be able to go back to the original way of targeting and all. Okay, cool. So the next question is coming from Harriet. So how to target a tourist in your area? Meta removed this option already. Yes, Meta removed this option that you're no longer able to target people who live here, or people who are recently here, or people who are traveling here. So it's a lot more important for you to really design your ad that speaks to the audience. So you can still do location targeting, meaning you can actually still drop your pin at those like tourism areas and stuff, where most tourists would actually gather and be. And that's one thing. Now, the second thing is you really need to design the ad that actually call out to the audiences that you are trying to reach. These are the methods that I would probably think that would work for you. But of course, all these are hypotheses that you can test one thing at a time. But having said that, right, like I mentioned just now, you should really consider looking into your campaign and find out what's working, what's not working, and try to optimize from there. Sometimes focusing too much on the audience size may not be really the thing. There are many things that you can actually optimize in the campaign. So if that's something that you want to try, you can scan this QR code over here that we can actually have a quick chat about this. Okay, now the next question here is coming from Mr. K. How to increase CTR? New creative, but how effectively? New ad set, etc. Very good question. I think, did I talk about that? No, I didn't talk about that. So yeah, increase CTR. The easiest way to increase CTR is to test new creative and try to increase CTR, because certain creative works better, certain creative are not, so it's all about testing new creative and all that. But the way I would test new creative is I would usually test one creative at a time. I'm not really a fan of A/B tests unless you have quite a substantial budget to play with and all. I'm not saying that you need to throw in a lot of money, but the way I do my testing is I usually give at least 3 days to a week for each creative to brew and all that. So when I'm actually testing creative, I always do it within the same ad set. So I will let A run first for a week, and then after that, if it's working, then we'll keep it, and we will introduce B. But of course, we know that when we have 2 ads in it, it's not evenly distributed, the budget. So it's up to you. You want to actually test it, another ad set, but when you're testing at multiple ad sets and all that, you have to understand that all these are, they are learning at their own ad set level. So what I do advocate here is you should try to keep all the learning within the same ad set as much as you can. So to me, as long as my CTR is doing decent, I would actually periodically, like let's say I probably just do it once a month or twice a month. I would introduce new creative to the performing ad set, and we'll observe from that. Yes, they may not get as much budget treatment, but we can always give it a try. As in, like, I can turn off the old one and let the new one run for a couple of days, and we see how it goes. Otherwise, I can always do the switching and all that. So I would usually try to maintain 2 to 3 ads within the same ad set as the performing ad set, and I would just keep growing it over time. So yeah, to me, it's not really that necessary to keep creating new creative, because as long as you apply exclusion in your campaign, the whole ad set, exclusion in your ad set level, as in that, the whole thing can actually be able to run for long term. So yeah, we will only do the new creative when it's necessary. Yeah, so that's what I would do. Yeah, I would do it within one ad set, but it really depends on your structure. So just run it, and let's, once you're ready, right, scan this QR code, okay, and let's take a look at the campaign, and we analyze and we make decision based on the numbers from there. Okay, all right, cool. Thanks, Harriet. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, Mr. K, thanks for the question. All right, guys. Yeah, so pretty cool. I think that's pretty much it for now. I thought we could end early, but we wrap it in 30 minutes on time. So cool. Thank you so much for joining me. That's what I do every Sunday night. So come back on the following Sunday. Let's have a chat on meta advertising every Sunday night. Okay, thanks, and have a good week ahead, and good night. Bye-bye.